Well, well. You've come back, I see, or you're here for the first time. Either way, here we are together. And I'm so glad you're here. We're going to continue talking about memes because last week I went on sort of an investigation to look at the older memes from knowyourmeme.com because I have been on the internet for a long time and I really enjoy memes. They're a wonderful language, universal sort of situation like numbers. And I think it's really cool. And I'm well versed in this language, and I wanted to go back and look at some of the ones that I forgot. And I was looking at last week chronological memes. So like memes that have the subject matter of them is old. And so this time I'm going to go back to just ones that were some of the original ones early. And up first, we have the Rickroll. I mean, if you don't know what a Rickroll is, you must have just got here, man. Just popped right out of a space rock, crawled out of the ocean, and we're like, hello, I'm a human being. Because it's classic. Absolutely classic. So it's Rick Astley's dance pop single, Never Gonna Give You Up. This one is so popular that it's a Fortnite emote now. And I know that because I have it, and it's one of my favorite ones to do. But apparently, according to 4chan founder Moot, the Rickroll phenomenon began in /V video games in 2007. When someone posted a link to the music video disguised as a sneak preview for the then newly released video game Grand Theft Auto 4. The anticipation for this game was such that almost everybody who saw it fell victim to the bait and switch link prank, and then it just caught fire from there. Many people have expressed the opinion that the most attention-getting aspect of the video is Rick Astley's unexpectedly deep voice, in contrast to his youthful looks. According to VH1's pop-up video, record executives who heard his recordings didn't believe it was his real voice either. And that's taken just from the knowyourmeme.com entry on the Rickroll. Another fun fact is the weird clothes that he's wearing were his actual clothes. It was a very low budget thing. They just said, just bring your own clothes. And then the dance he was doing, the awkward dance, they just told him to dance. There was no choreography. There was nothing. He was flying by the seat of his trench coat shorts, trying to figure it out. And then he became an internet legend. So I think that's pretty cool too. So it was all over the internet everywhere. And in 2008, the Rickroll meme came to a full circle when Rick Astley himself appeared on a float during the 2008 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, lip-syncing to his classic hit from 24 years ago. I mean, that's pretty intense. I don't know if I'd be able to see it in person and not think that I was being bamboozled somehow. I just think that even today, the Rickroll is so pervasive that you'll find QR code stickers and flyers just about in the world where if you scan them, it'll take you to a Rickroll. I saw a Rickroll on TikTok the other day that someone said if that Rick Astley's video got so popular that the YouTube link broke and it had, millions and millions of views, and it just says that this video can't be viewed. And I'm sure a lot of folks not as cultured as myself fell for that, but I could smell it from a mile away. But the Rickroll is classic, and it's not going anywhere. It comes in waves. But just quite frankly, I don't think we can ever give it up. And it won't let us down. It's just going to keep running around, but it won't hurt us. Okay, this is another one that I forget about, but was just critical in the formation of my frontal lobe. The Trololo guy. Trololo is a video of the nationally honored Russian singer Edward Hill. Edward Hill is also how he's known, performing the Soviet-era pop song I Am Glad Because I'm Finally Returning Back Home. The video is often used as a bait and switch prank in a similar vein of rickrolling. I fell for this one all the time. But this one was just bring me so much joy, even more joy than the Rickroll, which I think was more of an angry joy of like, "Duh, I fell for it again." But this one is actual genuine joy. Okay, let's see the origin. On November 26, 2009, YouTuber Real Papa Pit uploaded Papa Pit. Yuck. Uploaded a video clip titled, "I am very glad because I'm finally back home." The performer singing in the video was identified as Edward Anatolievich Kiel, a Soviet-era vocalist once celebrated as the honored artist of the USSR in 1968 and the People's Artist of the USSR in 1974. The song is an example of the vocaliz tradition, a style of singing similar to pantomime and American scat singing of the 1920s. The video was later renamed Mr. Trololo original upload and received over 26 million views and 48,500 comments over the next 8 years. Wonder how many of those were me. Okay, so the spread of it. On December 20th, 2009, an isolated clip of the laughing section. I don't even have to watch it. I know exactly what clip they're talking about. Was uploaded by a YouTuber, Camo Cat. Within 3 years, the video accumulated over 6.6 million views. On January 27th, 2010, another Redditor submitted the video to RWTF. It was titled Trololo, which received another 580 upvotes prior to being archived. On February 19th, the viral content site BuzzFeed published the video in a post called Lyrical Genius. That's actually funny for BuzzFeed. 2 days later, the Huffington Post included the video in an article titled, "Is this weird Russian guy the best lyricist of all time? No." Well, that's rude. Just leave it as a question. On February 26th, the single-serving site Trololo was launched, which featured an embed video on autoplay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the guy's reaction. Okay, great. Keel's reaction. On March 11th, 2010, YouTuber Dialsoft uploaded a video of Keel watching several YouTube parody videos of the performance. On March 26th, Keel was interviewed by Radio Free Europe Radio Liberty, mentioning that he discovered his internet fame after hearing his grandson humming the song. Keel's relatives have made him an official YouTube channel called Sate Ed Hill. Well, that's cool. Okay. Oh, and it looks like he has passed away since then. R.I.P., sir. You did a great service to the internet and brought me many, many laughs. The next one I'm going to talk about is just the idea of fail/epic fail. There was a section, like I was saying on the last episode, about how icanhascheeseburger.com and how they had different sections for different things, and Fail Blog was where I would go to see all of the fail memes. And it was just usually a picture with just the word fail written on it in huge bold font somewhere on the image. And it was outstanding. Just, laughing at the expense of others, but usually in a harmless way. I didn't like the mean-spirited ones, but just ones that were, I'm going to say harmless. I think that a lot of the ones that I found super funny were basically harmless fail ones for the most part. Now, there are lots of fail compilation videos nowadays that I won't even watch because it's like people actually getting injured and I don't like it at all. But back in the ancient times, there were some pretty harmless ones. Let's see. Okay, the earliest documentation of the term fail can be traced to a Japanese 16-bit scrolling shooter game, Blazing Star, which was released in 1998. The game was often mocked for its grammatically incorrect game over message that reads, "You fail it. Your skill is not enough. See you next time. Bye-bye." Oh, as seen with the "all your base are belong to us" meme. That's classic as well. Let's see. While the exact origin of fail as an interjection remains unknown, the earliest appearance of fail on slang repository Urban Dictionary dates back to 2003. You actually bought that? Fail. Or this movie fails. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yep, there's Fail Blog. Okay. On August 9th, 2009, the New York Times, in almost verbatim to Know Your Meme episode, reported on the fail phenomenon. They wrote, "This punchy standalone fail is most likely originated as a shortened form of you fail, or more fully, you fail it. The taunting game over message in the late 90s Japanese video game Blazing Star, notorious for its fractured English." That's wild that the New York Times was all over that. But yeah, so there's... yeah, some of these compilations are good, but some of them are like, uh-oh. Ouch. I think, you know what? One of the first ones I saw was when that newscaster lady was smashing grapes with her feet, and then she tried to cheat by going faster and mess up the person she was doing the segment with. Oh, grape lady, she's right here. Yeah, grape lady. And then she fell over out of the frame of the shot, and it was his live news, and so she was like, ugh. That's one of the first ones I saw in a fail compilation where I was my life was changed. Another honorable mention here has got to be the Karen phenomenon, right? Like, I know that we're all familiar with Karens, but she started as a meme, y'all. That's where, I mean, now I think it's more serious of a thing to be a Karen these days, because it usually means someone's calling the police on somebody else who did nothing wrong, or somebody's losing their job because a Karen complained. But back in the early days, a Karen was just somebody who was complaining, but not in a dangerous way like today. I feel like the Karens have become nuclear. A radioactive Karen. They were bitten by a poisonous Yelp review and became toxic. And by the early days, by the way, I mean like 7 years ago. Because it really gained popularity. In 2015, comedian Jay Farrow released a stand-up special called Can I Be Me? And in that, he refers to an annoying woman named Karen. "It's always a Karen," he said. That was probably the birth of it. So, Jay Farrow, you invented the Karen meme. This is amazing. But yeah, a lot of it, before that, it was known as the "Can I Speak to a Manager" haircut. That was the meme. And then Karen was retroactively applied to this meme that existed long before. So that's kind of like, and the "Can I Speak to a Manager" haircut, that's like the shorter in the back, longer in front, John and Kate +8, the Kate gal. The sharp, pointy bob, usually a middle-aged white lady. These days, Karens can be anyone. They're everywhere. It's very scary. And this is one that really got to people. Really, really got to people. I remember there was some movement in the 2021, 2022 era where a bunch of straight up fucking Karens were like, calling someone a Karen is like using a slur. No, it fucking isn't. You Karen ass bitch. Shut the fuck up. Now, there's also subtypes of Karens. So there's Tropical Storm Karen. There's Kids Bop Karen. There's San Francisco Karen. There's Phoenix Karen. I don't know if I said Phoenix Karen already. But then there's also the Stephanie McMahon smile. Like, that's the gal who's smiling who has her face all scrunched up. I think it's a cute smile, but people always use that meme in a way to describe somebody doing a really stupid thing. There's the I Knew It Karen. Milwaukee Brewers Karen. Oh, that one. That lady. The Phillies Karen. All kinds of them. Yeah, there's just no way they're integrated. And I think it's really cool to call people out for nonsense, because we needed a word for it. And Jay, you did it. Thank you so much. One thing that I don't see a category for on here that was also one of my favorite ones was one where it would be pictures of Olympic divers, but mid-dive, and just the gravity messing with their faces and stuff. That was completely soul-wrenchingly hilarious to me. People would be making the most absurd faces. I wish there was a category I could find, but I will say it's hard to find, like, you only have an option of 4 different pages to click on. And so there's like, over 1,000 pages of this, but say I can only click on 4 pages at a time. It's like a singular arrow this way, this way, this way. So I wish I could just like plop somewhere in the middle, but no dice. My God. This one is one of my favorite things. I remember this being a constant source of entertainment when I was in high school. So it's called Yatta, and it's a parody song from 2001 by a fictional Japanese boy band called Green Leaves. The song was first performed as a sketch on the Japanese sketch comedy show Adventures of a Laughing Dog, known as Silly Go Lucky in the United States. The boy band members were played by some of Japan's most well-known comedians, and the sketch satirizes many of the stereotypes of Japanese pop culture, including such tropes as a romantic interlude during the song's bridge that takes place on a city street filled with floating sakura blossoms. Now, the page that here for it doesn't have a whole lot of information, but it is really something to behold. It had obviously a very high production value on it, but it's a bunch of middle-aged men in tidy whities with green leaves glued to the front, and they're jumping around saying these wonderful things about how to live a positive and happy life, and it's actually a really catchy song. I recommend watching it. Of course, the videos now are terrible quality, but you can still tell that a lot went into this. Reminds me a lot of the Lonely Island videos or the song parodies that they do on SNL. Like, it's the same thing. It's just they did it first. But it's absolutely worth a watch. It's very good. Especially because I was taking Japanese in high school, so it was fun to sort of check my knowledge against a funny joke song. Okay, the last one we will discuss in this episode is the series of memes called When You See It. I remember this being a big part of demotivational posters, which was another section of I Can Has Cheeseburger. It was just like you're imagining, the opposite of the motivational posters, like the cat in the branch that says hang in there. So they're specifically funny because they are demotivational. So the whole thing behind When You See It was, when you see it, you'll shit bricks. It was a popular caption for many of the demotivational posters. So the idea is that you'll find the hidden image or the secret thing, the when you see it. It's usually a funny detail in the background or mind games or mind fucks. Those are also categories of demotivational posters. I think it's sort of, you still see this kind of stuff happening, but it's a lot of clickbait stuff of like, wait till you see what this thing does, or wait when you comment below when you see it in the background, blah, blah, blah. So it's still around. It's clickbait is what it is. And it was popular then, and it's popular now, and it probably always will be. But back in this time, I think it was more pure. But maybe that's just me turning into an old fucking idiot because everybody thinks that things were better when they were younger, but they weren't. You're just forgetting the shit. And also, there's sort of like a reverse trend of when you see it happening. You don't see it as much now, but when people would put like the red circle on a thumbnail of a video or a picture, and then there would be nothing about that mentioned in the video. Like, it doesn't matter. The red circle doesn't matter. It was just to get you to want to see what this thing was that you're about to, what's the trick? What's the thing? I'm going to find it. So it's a reverse of that is also used as sort of like an internet trick for views and clicks. But I always wonder, like, what was the point back then? Because people weren't getting paid. It was all just social currency for submitting a good meme. And even then, it was very likely anonymous. Well, as anonymous as the internet could get back then. We just did it for the love of the game. That's all. We weren't getting ad revenue or sponsors or none of that shit. We just wanted to make each other laugh in this dark world. Okay, so the actual last one that I'm going to talk about before ending this episode is probably the first meme I ever saw, which was Bad Luck Brian. Now, he was in the style of the advice animal memes. It was just some kid's class photo, sweater vest, braces, dorky kid, But it's such an earnest smile, though, that something about it just said this kid has bad luck. And so people started to put text over it that says, takes driving test, gets first DUI, like bad luck, or tries to stealthily fart in class, shits. Oh man. Yeah, there's so many good ones. Plays in rock band, hand chimes. There's millions and millions of these, and that was probably one of the sorry, I'm reading some of these and they're not appropriate to read out loud. Holy shit. But it's just one of those classic memes, and there's an updated picture of the guy too. I know that he has had a lot of success talking about the meme and how it has changed his life being on the meme. Yeah, I hope he's doing well. But yeah, it says so he says his name is Kyle, and the photo was taken as his 7th grade school photo, but the principal made him take it over again because he was under the impression that Kyle was making the face on purpose. That in itself is a bad luck Brian meme. Like, take school photo, principal makes you take it again because your face is weird. Like, hello? Are you kidding? Yeah, there's so many like people memes of the overly attached girlfriend, Ermagerd, good guy Greg, annoying Facebook girl, scumbag Steve, ridiculously photogenic guy, most interesting man in the world, PTSD clarinet boy. That's I forgot about that one. Oh man, do I have to? I think I need to do a part 3 about these. I think that's the next move. Well, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of diving into the early internet memes. And I think I need to start going into some newer ones, because towards the end of I went to the very end of the meme entries for Know Your Meme, and I gotta be real, I recognized only a small handful of them. So I think it might be time to continue my education. The most community of colleges, the internet. That's where I'm going to continue learning. Okay, well, thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.